Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a jet fighter survival vest for civilian use. Stick around, it's going to be a cool video. So recently I did a video where I went through some gear that I got from a online retailer called One Thief Surplus. It is kind of my go-to favorite surplus store online. They just have a lot of cool stuff. They're really good people. It's veteran-owned, U.S. company, of course. And I went through this box of gear that they sent me, and one of the items that they included was this jet fighter survival vest. Now, I've had a fascination with military surplus since I was a little kid. It's interesting to me, the history of it, how things are made, how it's utilized by troops. And when I saw this thing, I thought, this is really cool. I want to mess around with this and see, is there any possibility of using this for being out in the woods, going fishing, hunting, whatever? Can I use it in a survival application, but more importantly, as just a citizen, a civilian? Is there some kind of use for something like this? Because it is obviously very mission designed and driven for pilots. And the cool thing about it is super modular. So let's take a look at this thing up close. Okay, here it is in all its glory. I've got this thing loaded up for basically just adventuring out in the woods and as kind of a general purpose survival vest. What's interesting about these vests is the modularity that they've built into them. They utilize a very unusual plastic track system, and what's cool about this is you actually pull these little tabs up, and that releases the lock, and then the whole pouch slides off. So there is the system itself. Very unique. But of course, with this type of system, you are locked into using the pouches that are made for this vest. And it's not like a lot of these pouches are available in the marketplace right now. I haven't been able to find a lot of extra ones, but if you get your vest through One Thief, and I'll have a link down below for the vest, it will come with a pretty good set of pouches. This one was complete with all the pouches that I'm showing. Getting that track system lined up the first time, it's a little difficult. It takes a little bit of practice. But the idea was that, a pilot would basically get these locked in the way they like them. And then if they wanted to, there's even a method of sewing the tab down so it doesn't move, and then now they've got a pretty permanent pouch setup. Now, this particular vest came with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pouches in the front plus a holster. That's 9. And then on the back, it has a very large backpack pouch. So that's 10 pouches in total with this vest. I'm going to remove the pistol here for a moment just because it'll be a little bit easier manipulating the vest. gun is empty. This is my Smith & Wesson Victory 22. Fantastic 22 pistol for the woods. Very accurate. Nice little gun. 22 pistols, in my opinion, are fantastic survival weapons. Or firearms, I should say, because it's really not a great weapon. It's much better at taking small game, and that's what this is for. So moving to the inside, we have large zipper pockets on both sides of the vest. And this vest is made in the USA by Ultimate Survival Technologies, UST. This is the Snap Track system. It's a size large. I don't know if there are bigger vests, but there's probably smaller ones. Pilots tend to be not huge people, so I would think that they probably have smaller sizes available. They sent me the large one, which is perfect for me. It fits me pretty well. I usually wear a double XL t-shirt, and this vest fits fine. There are also side pockets, and those snap shut, and they're pretty deep. And there's one on each side. So almost like a hand warmer pocket, but you could put some gear in there if you needed to. On mine, I've got my gloves on one side, and then over here I have a little survival guide, pocket survival guide, and then I've got my Write and Rain notebook and a Write and Rain pen. This is also a nice area for maps. And what's cool about all the pouches that you're going to look at, they have sewn in D-rings, and this one came with dummy cord pretty much in every pocket. So the pilot who had this, or this was issued to, they had, even if it was issued, it may not have been, but it came with 2 dummy cords ready to go. So that is a great way of tying down gear if you're unfamiliar with that concept, and that way you don't lose it. So if you need to get things out, you can handle them and then put them back in, and you don't have to worry about them falling out or losing them on the trail. So dummy cording is a great way of securing gear. Now the body of the vest is primarily mesh. And these tabs right here that are sewn all over the place, that's the tracks. That's the backing for the plastic tracks. We have 2 nice pouches, long, and in the bottom one here, I have a bandana, and I have basically a nice little survival tin that I put together. This way, everything is all in one kit. We've got water purification bags, tablets, there's a filter in there. This old reflective armband for marking. Of course, a ferro rod, a striker, and then a whistle, lighter, can opener, some bouillon cubes, mini zip ties, and then some fishing items. We got a little hand line, different lures, sinkers, little cork bobber, and then a little diamond stone for sharpening up a knife. So some basic survival items. Of course, you can add whatever you feel you need. But I like having a tin. At least I can use this tin to possibly cook something in it or boil some water in it. It has that potential. And I've just got a little pair of fishing pliers, a little needle nose type for removing hooks. Inexpensive, lightweight. This pouch is first aid. Compressed gauze, quick clot gauze, a military bandage or cravat, which can also be used as a bandana as well. Of course, a tourniquet. This is one of the Rhino Rescue ones. This has the metal bar on it, so those don't break like the plastic ones do. And then just some general Band-Aids in a plastic bag. Up here, I have some land nav items. I've got my Silva compass. I have a little signaling mirror that I've wrapped in cardboard and tape just to protect it, because it's not something I use unless, of course, it's an emergency. And once again, here's the dummy cord system in place. So my compass is dummy corded to that D-ring. I can pull that out, get a bearing, put it back in, and not worry about losing it. This little pouch, which kind of sets off to the side, I've got a roll of toilet paper, and then I've got one of these cheap emergency ponchos, which actually is made by UST. I think I got that at Walmart or something, but nice to have a little rain cover just in case. Moving over here, so we've got the holster. Now this was obviously designed for a military service pistol, so I would imagine it's probably, when these were actually being produced, this would be fitting a Beretta, but like I said, or like I showed you, it fits my 22 pretty well. And talking with the owner of One Thief, I think he said he had either a Ruger or a Buckmark in his, and it fit perfectly. So these semi-auto 22 pistols fit nicely in there. Up here, this top pouch, I have a small pair of binoculars for scouting. This middle pouch has extra magazines for my pistol. And then down here, I've got 550 cord bank line and a very large roll of orange tape for repairs. This pouch is kind of unusual. I think this is designed primarily for holding a radio and possibly the pilot's survival knife. I'm not 100% sure, but this front pouch opens up, and it has a lashing point and then webbing that buttons up. And I think this is where you would put a knife. I think that goes in there, and then you attach that to this. What I've done is I'm actually using this Firecraft knife from White River. Picked this up at Blade Show about a month ago, and I really dig this as a super lightweight, all-purpose knife. It has a nice sharpened spine on it for striking that ferro rod. It's got the nice grippy scales. Just all around nice shape. You can do a lot with that. You can clean game. You can get a fire going, process some wood with it. Comes in a decent Kydex sheath. And then I put a little clip on the back of it. But it fits this pouch very nicely, this front one. And then the back of it is a much larger pouch. And I think this is where a radio would possibly go. But what I've got in my pouch here is some longer items. So I've got zip ties. I have a glow stick. This is a military issue glow stick holder. It basically allows you to put the glow stick in there and then close it. And then I've got my Marbles military style pocket knife. Nice little multi-tool knife. It's got the all can opener, bottle opener, and then a nice main blade. And then what I did is I've got 550 cord twisted into a lanyard, and then that is clipped into that dummy cord, that D-ring section. Now this back pocket is pretty generous. You've got a pouch on the front of it. Same system. Snaps with the zipper. And in here I've got my Hidden Woodsman signal panel. Pretty handy item to have. Fits nicely in there. You can use a military signal panel as well. What's cool about these zipper pockets too, they have a little button lock, so once you zip it closed, snap that shut, and that locks the zipper, keeps it from getting snagged on stuff. You know, these are rated to withstand a pilot wearing it and being ejected from a seat. So, you know, it's a lot of force that these things have to endure. And then we got the big zipper pocket back here. Super generous, large. And I've got a good old grabber blanket, which can be utilized as a tarp. Have drum liners, multi-purpose item, great to have. Can make a shelter out of this, can sleep in it, use it as a poncho, whatever. Fits that pocket perfectly. And then another really cool item that I got from One Thief is this U.S. military 2-quart canteen with this little swig rig that they sell, and very cool, handy item, and it works really well. Someone was asking in the last video that I did how these things work, and it's a very simple system. It's basically a tube that goes through the cap, and that goes to the bottom of the canteen. And then this is a very standard, got a little extra water here on the outside. This is a very standard kind of drink tube that you would find on a hydration pack, and it works very, very well. So they sell these at One Thief as well. Got a nice cap to it, then you got an on-off switch. So it's a great way of adding hydration capability to the vest. Six, 7 pounds dry weight without water. And since it's a vest, it's distributing the weight very well. It's not heavy on the shoulders at all. It's not pulling. In fact, it's pretty comfortable. Think of the different possibilities that you could do with this thing. Either having it set up for, you know, hiking, adventuring, maybe backcountry fishing. I mean, it could even be utilized for a hunting vest. I think there's a lot of different things that you could use this vest for. And the cool thing is with the pouches, you can load them up any way you want and take them off if you want to have a more low profile look. Like if you don't want the holster, if that's an issue, you don't have to use it. You can take that off. If you want just some basic pouches for fishing, you can take off some of the extra ones. If you don't need the backpack pouch, you can remove that. Then you actually utilize a regular backpack or a bigger backpack. I'm going to put some links down below for One Thief. Check those guys out. There'll be a discount code for Prepared Wanderer viewers, so please check that out. Support that company. US owned, veteran owned, good people, super nice, quick shipping, and the prices are awesome. And they just have a lot of cool surplus stuff that I just love going on their site. I always find something new or interesting. If you haven't noticed, we've got new Prepared Wanderer swag in the store. Store is down below. Got 2 or 3 new designs, t-shirts, mugs, all kinds of stuff, and stickers. That helps support the channel. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on the Prepared Wanderer.